I was pleased overall with how we played in the game today, especially the second half was certainly better than the first. But even at the end of the first half, after 20 minutes, I thought we really started to take the game to them. We got caught on the counterattack goal. I'm really proud of our team, the effort guys put in, 3 games in a week. We've scored 8 goals in those 3 games. I think the guys have put in a masterful effort, and I thought at the end of the game we almost looked fresher than they did, and they hadn't played in a week. So I was very happy with our team, our effort. Obviously, a wonderful free kick goal and a great run by Ivanchitz and shot to get his goal.
Matt.
Dempsey and Ivanchitz both lining up over the ball there. Did you know that Clint was going to fire that? And did you have a feeling that this could kind of be the moment?
They talk about it. They're good. They're good pros. And I think Clint said, "Hey, I got this one. I feel it." And that's when you're really good at it. It's because the best tandem I ever had was a long, long time ago. But they were really good at saying, "You know what? I can feel it today." There's days where you feel it, and there's days where you don't. And obviously, Clint felt it and hit a tremendous free kick.
Those 3 games in a week that you mentioned, all kind of must-win games, what does that say about sort of the makeup and character?
I think it says a lot about our character. It says a lot about the team. It says a lot about the guys knowing that this is the moment, this is the time, and stepping up at this moment. It also says something about our fitness levels. I think our training was appropriate. We really gave them a chance to recover and do things. We individualized a lot of things during the week of training. Some guys like to touch the ball around a little more. Some guys like to do a little less. So we individualized it for each guy so that we could maximize their recovery. But in terms of character, I think it says a ton.
Don.
Do you know what was going on at the end with the post-game non-handshake?
I don't know. I mean, Oscar, he was more concerned with talking to the referee, so, he didn't talk to me, so, what can I do? I'm not going to chase him.
Review.
Obviously, we talk a lot about momentum and the intangibles of this team. You guys have put together quite a run here at the end of the season. I guess, what's the belief like in the locker room, and how far do you think you guys can carry those?
We believe, and certainly we want to go to Dallas. We talked, during the week. We said we want to win at home. We want to get a tie out of there if we can, and that puts us through. So we've got the win at home part down. Now we just got to get a result there. And if we get a result there, we'll be good.
Mark.
8 goals in 3 games. You talk about that a little bit. You see that coming from this group this past week?
Well, we're trying to be on the front foot. Outside of the 8 goals, I think Gonzalez had a few saves for them as well. There was a few that maybe we didn't hit as well as we would have wanted to. I'm sure Clint would like that one back that he had in the first half. But then the other big thing has been, one of the things we've really emphasized from the time we went through the losing streak on is to be better in our free kick defending, which our corner kick defending and our free kick defending has been good, and also for us to make use of our set pieces, and that's where Andreas has helped us. So when you look at it, today we got another set piece goal. We had a set piece goal against Galaxy as well, a couple. So those are goals that sometimes when a game is tight, those are goals that make a difference.
Coach, do you feel at any point that your team was too generous trying to set one another up in front of the net?
I don't know. When you're in the middle of that and there's all kinds of bodies flying around and you're trying to make instinctive decisions, I'm not gonna second guess them at that stage. I mean, it's something we work on all the time and say, hey, when you get in this position, let's make sure we shoot. We talked about taking a lot of shots because he was a young goalkeeper, to test him and see where, how he would respond. So, I think when we go to Dallas, we'll shoot a little more.
Will.
I know you expect big things out of Clint, but to see him score that goal in that spot, what does that kind of say about what he means to this team?
The thing I was happiest about was just the joy and the exhilaration I saw in him after he scored the goal, the celebration. He's been extremely focused, in this past week, and he's got his goal right now in terms of what he wants to achieve with this team. And, so for me, nothing Clint does surprises me. You know, I know he's always capable to conjure up a goal at key moments.
What happened on their first goal, and what adjustments did you make, or if any, were needed to make?
Well, you know, I mean, I thought we did a good job early on in the game bottling up Castillo. You know, we tried to make sure that when he got the ball to his feet, not allowing him to turn. I think Tyrone did a good job there. You know, we were attacking at their end of the field, and all of a sudden the ball turned over. We got caught. We got caught in transition. You know, Castillo beat Zach Scott for speed. And the rest is what it was. So I think we got caught on transition. We talked at halftime to make sure we don't get caught on transition and to make sure that our center backs slide over quicker, you know, because Castillo likes to turn the corner in there and to not give him a chance to run at us. You know, there was a play in the second half where you almost started to run from midfield, and I think Freeberg committed a foul, you know, and, you know, at least it stopped him from running at us at that moment. But that was the key thing we tried to emphasize, is to stop him from running at us and make sure that our center backs provided cover a little bit quicker for Tyrone.
Steve.
Yes, so you said last week this is the raw group, but it's been a group that's been focused. How do you know when they're ready, they're keyed in?
By how they play. You know, obviously, I mean, you know, I wish I could sit there and tell you that I can go in the locker room and I can say, okay, they're ready today. You know, when I coached Kobe Jones, he used to sometimes like to read, and he had this big comic book collection. I know whenever he read before a game, he wasn't going to have a good game, so I told him, don't read. You know, so, and then he'd play better. But you know, the group, I can tell, you know, that they're willing to do anything right now to help us win. You know, and they know it's playoff time, it's money time. You know, and they've really stepped up, you know. So you got Clint Dempsey, you know, going in the last half hour of the game again and playing left midfield for us, you know. And I'm sure if I would have asked you, you know, you guys and taken a poll, you know, on you guys 3-4 weeks ago and said, you know, what do you think of Clint playing left midfield? You'd go like, wait a second, is he going to get up and down? But he got up and down and he made things happen, and he gives us a different look, you know. So you can tell when you walk in that they're focused, you know, and they're concentrated. But they're not, like I said, they're not a rah-rah group where they're slapping each other on the back before the game, you know.
Art.
Clint's had a his usual tumultuous calendar with the international call-ups and the suspension. What goes into managing a guy like that in terms of his time and his focus? He doesn't have anything else on his agenda right now.
Well, you know, obviously from the physical part, what's really important is just the regeneration and so forth. And a lot of our key players, we try and, you know, we have an idea what we think they should be doing, but we also try and get input from them because, like I said, everybody's different. So you get certain guys. Oba likes to play a little bit, so 2 days after a game he wants to play a little bit. Clint doesn't want to play 2 days after a game, so we let Clint not play 2 days after a game, and we have Oba play because that's what he feels comfortable with, and that's what Clint feels comfortable with. So physiologically, letting them have a chance to regenerate and recover is important. Emotionally, you know, there's a lot of things that go into it when you're playing in tournaments, you know, like the Gold Cup and so forth. They're very, I don't think anybody really understands how psychologically draining those kind of things are. You know, I mean, I've been a national team coach in Youth World Cups. I've been at a real World Cup. I've been in Pan Am games with team and university games, and it's just a very focused, concentrated point of time, and you get mentally, you get, you know, tired. And so you want to make sure now that, you know, you want to find that button, you know, what's that button, what's going to regenerate them. But the button really for Clint and for all the guys is, you know, they want an MLS Cup, and that's why they're going after it every game.
Tricia.
Coach, what do you think about Valdez pro forma, and also if you think about the good pro forma, do you think it should be in the field a little earlier than what you put on?
We put Nelson on when we felt he was ready physically. You know, we had talked before the game as to how many minutes we thought he could play. We knew today was a game that wasn't going to go into overtime, you know, so, you know, he felt comfortable because he's been carrying a little bit of an injury, and he gave us, I mean, we thought he'd play 45 minutes on Wednesday, and he ended up playing 75. So that was 30 more than we expected. So we knew tonight he was going to be 20 or 30. He said, I can go 30. and so we put him in. So next week we'll see, you know, how he recovers. I mean, he took a pretty bad shot in the ribs on that one, you know, but in the playoffs there's never yellow cards, you know, so, you know, we might do the playoffs next year without referees because they don't call much anyway. So don't quote me on that. You're going to get me in trouble. Okay? Don't send that to the league, you know. Jeez. Just trying to be funny. No. So it's, you know, it's a situation with Nelson, the minutes where, you know, what we felt he could go tonight.
The big thing that everyone was talking about when you got even shifts was the free kicks and the set pieces. But has it been kind of a pleasant surprise to have like this all-around offensive game, or did you guys always think he had that kind of productivity in his arsenal?
No, we always thought he had game, or else we wouldn't have brought him here. You know, we're not going to bring a guy just to hit free kicks and so forth. Free kicks are things that are they're like the icing on the cake, you know. But he's still got to have a cake. He's still got to have you know, bread and butter to his game kind of thing. And you know, I mean, his work rate has been tremendous in the playoffs. You know, he's also slid to the right side of midfield. But his ability to get up and down, you know, to help us out defensively, to mark people on corners, he's been a really good team guy in that regard. And you know, he's got a sweet left foot, and he can hit balls, and he showed it tonight with the goal he scored. He also showed it tonight in the earlier shot that he hit. I thought that shot was going to hit the goalkeeper in the face. I didn't know if he was going to get his hands up in time, because he really laced that. So, and then obviously he adds another dimension on the free kicks and the corners.
These last 2 games you started Rose and Freeberg in midfield, and they hadn't started before together. Can you talk a little bit about what that pairing brings?
Just, you know, as I said in the game on Wednesday, you know, we wanted to have Rose in there because we felt it was a better matchup. I thought Rose had a good game on Wednesday, and so we wanted to come back with him. You know, Freeberg is, you know, pretty good at finding people forward and playing balls forward, so that's why we played him. You know, plus the ground that they cover, you know, is pretty significant. You know, Andy helps us in the air defensively as well, so that's another dimension he brings in. And I thought Roldan came off the bench and played well, you know, for us in the middle of midfield too. And we wanted him in there because, again, he's a little quicker and faster. And, you know, sometimes we're outnumbered in the midfield because we play a 4-4-2 and they play a 4-2-3-1, you know, so they got 3 against 2 sometimes, so you need that quickness and being able to get to balls.
Jackie.
The team's ability to come back to get the win, what does it do for them mentally as they head on the road for the second leg?
I mean, it does an awful lot. I mean, you guys know the stats more than I. You know, in terms of in this league, generally, if you're down and you're down at halftime, you generally lose. You know, I mean, and so the ability to come back from a deficit and win, again, I think speaks volumes for our character, and also, you know, talks about, you know, we're a team that believes, and you know, and so that one goal wasn't going to deter us.
Time for 1 or 2 follow-ups. Don, you still have one?
Is there any true sort of technical or tactical difference, or even mental danger in a team knowing that a tie is really all they need to get through?
It's, you know, we'll talk about it during the week and we'll prepare for it. You know, I think we've always been, and we, you know, obviously this year we don't have as good a road record as we've had in past years because of that middle stretch. But I think when you eliminate that middle stretch, I think our road record is pretty good. You know, if you look at the bookends of our season, beginning of season, end of season, and how we did on the road. And we've always been a good road team because we go to win on the road. And so, you know, we're going to go to win there. And, you know, I think if you go to win, then sometimes you come out with a tie. If you go for a tie, sometimes you come out with a loss, you know. So we're going to go to win, and if a tie is the end result, we'll be happy with that.
Is Dallas an especially tricky team to play from behind, the way that they sort of sit back and the way that they can hit you on the counter?
Well, they're a dangerous team because of their speed up front and their counterattacking ability. You know, so that's you know, that's something we always have to be concerned about. I thought we really upped our energy level, and that's what allowed us to take control of the game and to dominate the game, especially in the second half. And we've got to come with the same energy level because they are a team that you've got to disrupt their their early passes so they don't get a chance to spring the counter and spring Castillo and those guys in. And that's where, you know, Freeberg, I thought, did a good job. I thought, you know, Andreas did a good job. Our forwards, you know, helped us out on that as well, you know, to disrupt those early passes.
Let's go. You? No? Jackie?
Your thoughts on O'Neill Fisher and matching Dallas's pace?
You know, I mean, O'Neill did well. You know, it's a big assignment for a rookie, you know, and when you think of it, we had a couple of rookies that played, you know, minutes and contributed tonight. You know, I told him after the game I thought he was faster because I thought Barrios almost outran him the one time. So he says, no, I'm faster than Barrios. I said, okay, you know, we'll watch the tape and we'll try and do that. But certainly he helped us. I thought, you know, for him, because he's not a naturally left-footed player, playing on the left side is always difficult, you know, from that standpoint. But I thought he did a really good job tonight of playing balls forward, getting forward at times himself, and finding ways to play balls down the line, even if it wasn't necessarily off his left foot. So, you know, I was very pleased with what O'Neill did. I mean, he stepped into a void for us and did very well.
Thanks, guys.